Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. It is the 10th of December. Market is due open in just over a minute. What are we looking at? Same again, quite low vol, a little bit more than normal, but it started off. It only really started pushing from here, but overnight it's hardly moving, isn't it? So we got a leg up, a pullback, and possible other leg up. So there may be a larger channel there. I've put that there anyway, just out of interest. Speedy, how you doing, buddy? Neil, how are you? Sacred Geometry, good morning. So possibly a leg and a leg up. It's hard to say. I would say what I notice more and more now is when we get a steep leg out and we pull back, we never quite get that full leg. We seem to work here and then come out. So just out of curiosity, I'm going to do this. I'd say something like that. I think we're going to come out this sort of area. We never quite get right up. And to be honest, to get up there, we'd have to come back and continue higher. That just doesn't look like it to me. So you notice things, don't you, when you sit here every day and you kind of, but, you know, I think, okay, market's home. I just don't think it's going to get up there at the moment. If it comes back to here, then it may be. Okay, so market is open. So, but I think it's going to come out at the moment, I do. Exponential, how you doing, buddy? Been using second chart today for the first time. Good on you. Was a great second entry long. Yeah, it does make a difference. Let me have a look. In fact, let me just check this. It's the same on this at the moment. Let's just load a few extra days on this, see if it makes a difference. But I have reloaded. Yeah, see, I didn't think it would carry on. It's just too steep, that is, to get a second leg up. So I'm going to bin that. And that as well. So I just didn't think we'd get up there. So let's have a look. Yeah, okay, so they are different. So let me just bring them in side by side. If anybody doesn't do this, it's useful. If you look here, very slightly different. There's a kind of a lower high there. We haven't got one on this chart. Now, the only difference to this chart is compared to my other one, if you click that box there that says data series, like a fist with a little square around it, the only difference on this chart compared to the one is, break end of day I have deselected. And that makes an ever so slight difference in the chart. So the theory is if we get a nice second entry long, the context is nice, the setup's nice, but the signal bar's poor, a lot of times we'll leave the trade. But having a second chart just gives you kind of a second crack at the whip. And hopefully, a chance at a better signal bar. Some people use a few of them, but it does seem to make a difference. Jan, how you doing, my friend? Speedy, I got my trend line from yesterday pointing down. Let's have a look. It's in. Where have you gone from? Oh, from here. Are you on about here, are you? Not sure about that one, mate. Let's have a look. See if I bring that to there. This is a break. It's hard to say at the moment. I would say no personally for me. Did you mean that, did you? Something like that one. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That I would say. I'll tell you what I did notice yesterday. I really wanted to trade it. We've got a perfect 2 legs up. So have a quick look at this. I absolutely love this context. Look at that. Leg and a leg. We had a leg up with a break new high, a correction, another leg up, and look at it drop. I was so tempted to go short there, but I didn't have a setup. But channel down like that, 2 legs. I'll be amazed if the penguin guy didn't take that, but look at that. Straight away, 2 clear attempts, and then down. Look at it go. So this is interesting. It may just be one of those days again. It does seem to be getting slower and slower. I can send you a pic. Yeah, go on, far away, mate. Far away, send one in. In fact, let's have a look at the 10,000. Oh, yeah, just quickly. Look at the difference there. Lower high there. Well, there was a failure there. Second entry long. There's been some traders taking that long, and there was a failure there which worked. Didn't look like it on this one. In fact, it was, well, it's too far for a lower high, but so it just goes to show you. Let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say that, mate. Yeah, so you've got it as like a spike in a chart. It's hard to say. It's that great big push down the middle which would confuse me. So I would say, looking at the last kind of couple of weeks, we're moving up. Then we sort of cap off a little bit. Then we make a new high. And then we seem to be coming down. So my gut feeling at the moment, looking at the daily as well, is it's probably going to continue down. Now, it's easier said than done, really, isn't it? So that's the daily. Sort of, we've gone up, we come back, we've gone up, we come back, we've gone up, we actually broke through, we come back. We've had 2 legs up, bit of a pullback leg. I think personally it's more likely to work down towards the EMA. But that's just, you know, it's a process of elimination. That's what it's doing. We're obviously trending up. So my gut feeling is it's probably going to come down. Now, it could go up a little bit and then come down. And that up a little bit on the daily could mean 20, 30 points on the 2000 tick chart. So not that it will necessarily help you, but I think the overall is down maybe for a day or two or a few or something like that. So yeah, it's a bit hard to say at the moment, but it's starting off. It's starting off just like a range, really. I would have suggested, but yeah, I am aware that it's probably. In fact, I probably even shouldn't say that, really, because yes, it looks like it's coming down, but you know, it can go up 30 points here, and it can be a tiny little pullback within the day on the daily, and it's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? You know, we're back at the EMA. As soon as that triggers below there, you think, you know, we're going to shoot straight up, but it came down probably, I don't know, probably 30 points, 20, 30 points before it eventually pushed up within the same day. So it's just nice to be aware of where things are likely to go. But kind of looking at it, yeah, we do seem to be sort of capping off here, doing a bit, but, you know, who knows? And really, that sort of capping off is just more this, isn't it? Just sort of feeling the top. You know, we did the same there. It kind of flattens off and then comes back. It did the same there, flattens off and comes back. Same there, flattens off a bit and comes back. So I think it's more likely to come back to that EMA. Just obviously, you know, that's what trends do, don't they? They go up, they come down. So, yeah. So, but it is very quiet, isn't it? I suppose it's only going to get worse. I can't remember. This is my 4th Christmas. Well, I started the Christmas. I didn't do any real trading, so I suppose this is my third actual working Christmas. But in fact, we're due to roll over shortly, aren't we? Surely. Has anybody mentioned rolling over? Let me have a look. Usually you'll hear rumours, won't you? You'll hear the words. So let me just, out of curiosity, roll it over, see what it shows. So 01 would be 25. See if there is any volume there. Sorry, it's not 01, it's 03, isn't it? Yep, Plonker. Sorry, my mistake. It's 03. Sorry, 03, 25, wasn't it? Not loading at the moment. That's odd. Clearly not. Well, there is volume. That's strange, isn't it? Why is that looking like that? What is going on? No, something's not right there, is it? Oh, I don't know what I've done. It's all right. I've just flicked over to March's contract. We've got this. That's not right. Surely we're not up here, unless something's really. Let's have a look. It's done it again. Unless that's where we're going, and I've got this some kind of magic, weird, spooky stuff. So I may just go along here and put me profit up here, and say I don't know what's going on. I've not heard anybody talking about it anyway, so maybe it isn't. Now, if it does push up to there, I'm going to probably not sleep. So, let's just hook those two lines up. Channel break, leg and a leg. Get a second entry short here. Let me just check my orders are opening.
Order submitted.
6. Yeah.
Order cancelled.
So let's just have a little look here. Down, a couple of legs up. Yeah, second entry short here. I'd like a leg and a leg. We need to get up here. I don't know whether we're going to or not. So, one attempt to go higher. We need another one. So, overnight highs are more or less where the midline is here. So, possible second entry long, push up, trap some longs, come down. What's the ATR like? Just under 2. Trouble is, there's a little bit of support there. Break. We've made an attempt at a new low. 1, 2, 3. You may call that a triple test. I wouldn't be thinking about going long here, personally. I'm not saying it won't, but to me, we've got a break. One attempt. I like to see 2 legs down. So if we can get 2 legs up first, we may get our leg down. I'm hoping that finishes bullish. A little bit more bullish and maybe trap some longs, push up, and then come down. So we keep an eye on that. Let's just pop that there like that. So we've pushed up and bounced here. We need to do the same again. Okay, leg and a leg. Let's see how this finishes. Now, it could go up, but it might not do. You took a point that triple test up there. Yeah. Just looking at this now, where this comes down to, channel down, 2 pushes up. It could come down to here, or it may continue on up. Tough one, isn't it? So the trend has pushed down and made a matching low. So by the look at this, We'd take your point off here, did you? Triple test, yeah. Doesn't look to me like that's going to come back down. It may bounce here, but the trouble is this doesn't really tell you much. We go sideways, we do have like an M shape, and then we go sideways again, so it's not really giving us much, is it? But that's trading. You're still in that triple test, that one there, are you? I was kind of expecting it to retest this. Now we've pushed above here. But go on, push up. It may go. Once it gets so high, then it usually sort of breaks free then, doesn't it? I haven't got a fantastic bar here. It's a bit stacked. My concern is it ticks here and then comes down. But I'm assuming some of you, or any of you, probably got in there a limit order, didn't you? Well, I mean, you've only got to have a slightly different bar, and that makes a world of difference, doesn't it? So, excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Okay, that's going up by the looks of things. So what is going on here? Every time I go for 1 point, it goes far. It's always away, mate. One thing I've learned, I caught second entry long, Captain Kirkadian, buddy. Runner, yeah. I just my concern about getting in a trade there is, yes, it's three. It's had 3 bounces. My concern is, though, it bounces here, 1 leg up, 2nd leg up. If it has 2 legs up and has a bearish bar here, I don't pay too much attention to what I'm seeing here. It's how those legs look, really. Do they look strong? It wasn't congested when I entered it. Yeah, I mean, for instance, that bar could have been quite different. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you enter and it goes congested, doesn't it? But 3 contracts, not 3. Oh, okay, yeah. Got you. This now is just, let's have a look, leg up. It's just starting to look just typically rangy, I think, isn't it? Excuse me just a second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a quick second. Sorry. Okay, it's hard to trade when it's like this. It's just up, down, but you don't know when it's going to turn. You know, this here, you don't know whether they're going to break and it's come down to the lows. It's not easy. Up, down. Every time it's gone to the top, it's a different place. We're down here, we're up here, we're up higher, we're down here. Let's have a look. You look at the red bars running south of the EMA, suddenly a good green bars appeared when price broke. You're about that one there, are you? Yeah, I tend to forget as a trader. Not everybody takes the same. I took the engulfing red bar short for 1 point. Got you. Yeah, not everybody trades the same as me. I tend to think everyone trades Pat's or everyone trades my style, but there could be a dozen different reasons to get in here, and the rest probably. Yeah, so I don't know if you're on about there, long eye engulfing bar there. What did you say? I took the engulfing red short for 1 point. I'm done. You got in here, did you? You done, are you? You must be the quickest. What's the word I'm looking for? You must be the shortest working day trader I know. But that's. To be honest with you, if you can get a couple of trades in, I think sometimes you're better walking away and just getting away from it. The whole idea, obviously, if you've got little kids as well, it just makes things so much easier. So what are we doing? Coming down here? Are we going to have a break and push up? Who the hell knows? Let me just bring this down a little bit to there. Okay, so we've got topping off here. That may have been just a bit of an overshoot. So that 4-tick system, that's starting to work okay for me. Good on you, mate. Good on you. I'm surprised we haven't had nothing from I noticed you're in another Facebook group yesterday, Jan. I think it was what's his name? I noticed it said say hi to our new members. I noticed your name was there. Is it Constantine? His name, something like that. It's hard to say. You just don't know how much control Apex have over some of these big Facebook groups. You know what I mean? But I did notice your name pop up. Yeah. I mean, I was banned from one a few weeks ago. What did I say? There was a few problems. It may have been a month and a half ago. There was some problems with the Apex trade copy. Now, I don't use the Apex trade copy, but it's still on my system. And I remember someone saying something about it, and I went, how'd you delete it? I don't even use the damn thing. And that got me banned. It's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit stupid, really. Sometimes it does start to feel like a flipping dictatorship, doesn't it? You got to be so careful what you say. That's part of the reason why I started the Facebook group. It gets a bit silly. So I made that freeware. Apex groups. Yeah, how stupid is that? You make a bit of freeware, you give it away to help traders, and you get banned for it. That's atrocious, that is. It's bad, that is. It shouldn't happen, that. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows why they do these things? Who knows? But, you know, it's the powers that be. Yeah, they are, yeah. Never make it the military. No, they wouldn't. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So, what military were you? Were you Kirk? Were you? Well, you Captain Kirk, obviously. Were you like Air Force, something like that? Military. I did a little bit of time in the reserves, not long, but I had a military family. I had two fathers. Well, my father, who was actually killed in Belfast in the early 70s when they kind of first went out there, and I had a stepfather as well, also military. So we've been, you know, done all the rounds, Northern Ireland, Germany, Cyprus, all the delights of Catterick, Garrison and Tidworth around the UK. Yeah, it is ridiculous, isn't it? I know my stepdad used to hate civilians. Civvies. Couldn't work with them. He's sadly no longer with us. So what is going on here? We're having a leg. Hey. Yeah, someone else has just posted that on there. Same sort of thing with a bit of an overshoot. Line of death, Lebanon, Beirut, storm, etc. 80s and 90s, yeah, you were in there early then, weren't you? So what were you? Were you Army? Were you Air Force? It's all right with the Captain Kurt. That leads me to believe Air Force. But I got a stepbrother as well who spent some time over in Afghanistan. It sucks. Yeah, it's. What can you say? Is it ever going to get better? I can't see it. I don't want to label religion on it, but sometimes these religious fanatics. Do you know, when I was young at school, I always thought we used to do a subject called RE, religious education, when I was at school. Now, I've never really been religious as such. I don't not believe. I like to think there's somewhere else we go, but I don't go to church unless it's a funeral. Or people, someone's getting married. But, I don't know, sometimes these very, very strong religions, as far as I'm concerned, if you're willing to give up your own life for religion, you're willing to blow yourself up for religion, there's something that's not right. But I was always led to believe that religion was all about peace. The more religious you were, the more peaceful you were. It's actually more or less the complete opposite. The more sort of fanatical religious you are, the more just things don't. I don't get it. Gulf War syndrome sucks. Oh, really? Yeah. Do you know, I was reading something. It was more in Afghanistan. Now, my stepfather and father were both in the light infantry in the UK, so they're infantrymen. And there was 2 battalions, the light infantry and the green jackets, and they both amalgamated into what's known as the rifles now. And over in Afghanistan, the rifles lost a lot of guys. But I was watching a documentary, and more ex-servicemen have taken their own life than lost their life in Afghanistan. And what does that tell you about your government? The support they get. Over in the US, you get support. You get support from people, you get support from the but the government own here, they don't look after ex-servicemen. They really don't. It's disgraceful. We have certain charities over here, Help for Heroes, stuff like that. Looking after your ex-servicemen should not be down to bloody charities. It should be down to your government. Your government sends them to fight their bloody wars for them. They should support them whatever it takes. It frustrates the hell out of me that more servicemen take their own life because they're not bloody well supported. Fries my brain, that does. Looked at the top 10 richest pastors in North America, almost half with. Unbelievable, isn't it? Donate to the patrons. And they looked at what they donate. Nothing. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Sometimes the more rich you get, the more greedy you get in a strange way, isn't it? Yeah, crazy. We don't look after our servicemen enough. I know the US is quite different, but we just don't look after our servicemen. Young guys, 18, 19, going off to fight your wars in other countries, and then when they come back, that's it. They're forgotten about. Yeah, I bet it did. Well, they say there's not such thing as an atheist on a battlefield. Yeah, sometimes when you're in situations, you've got to, haven't you? You've got to believe. I mean, I've questioned it over the years. As I say, I don't not believe, but I don't know. I don't know. I've always been, I've kind of wanted to see it to believe it. But when you see some of the terrible things that go on in the world, it doesn't make you question it, doesn't it? Let's hope we all get the answers one day. I'm pretty sure we'll get something. All I can get. Grateful for Apex. Yeah, it is a sad old world, isn't it? It's always shocked me how one human being treats another, especially in this day and age. I don't know. You tend to think people learn to live and learn to get along by now, but we're far from it. Far from it. And the Middle East is a mess. I can't see it changing. It's in a way, and I don't mean this in a nasty way, the Middle East is kind of where we were 200 years ago. It is a sad old world at times, isn't it? I forget how lucky we are. I mean, we moan about it over in the UK, but we're in a nice, safe country. I don't have to worry about anything. I can go where I want, buy what I want. It must be horrible living in some of these countries, and there's not a lot you can do about it. You're willing to risk your lives and your families to get to one of these safer countries. Must be horrible, especially if you've got kids. Opens up your eyes. I changed when I had kids. It opens up your eyes a bit. Nothing used to really worry me. Nothing really used to scare me. And then when you have kids, changes you. You hear these sad stories about kids, and that's what they used to be, sad stories. But when you got kids yourself, you kind of feel it. Oh, what have I done there? Okay, so it does look like we're kind of ranging between these levels, doesn't it? The trouble is, if you look there, look here, and look here, we're kind of hitting it in different places. Grateful for CPI numbers tomorrow. Yeah, some evals with OCR. Been there, done that. I'm surprised Apex haven't had a better deal at the moment. As far as I'm concerned, 50% off is no deal whatsoever. What is it, $85, $80, and then $125 for the fit? It's $200, isn't it? So I decided to have one My Fellow Futures. I did. It's $80 all in, and wait for a sale. I'm surprised we haven't had one by now. But I believe Daryl Martin's in Dubai at the moment. I saw there was something on Facebook the other day. I noticed some pictures of him in with his family over in Dubai. So whether, I don't know, you tend to think someone's running the fort while they're away. Yeah, got a lot of time for any serviceman. I love the life as a sort of an army brat. I love the life, moving all over as a great big unit. I loved it. A stepbrother, two fathers, an uncle, all in the military. Channel break, new high. Trouble is, every time we hit this area, we're kind of dropping at different levels. So we'll have a look. So down, a couple of legs up and down. So I'm not a fan of picking tops and bottoms, as you know. But if we can get something up here bearish, what I'll probably do is look for a lower high, because at the moment we do seem to be swinging between these areas. Not as low as I'd have liked there. Certainly not interested in a bearish bar like that, really. For me, it's got to sit on top of here. The only way I'm going to get involved in that. Let's get this somewhere. Okay, so touching nice there. We've pushed up, bounced there, and then dropped straight back in. So for me, this is the top. So if I'm going to get into a shorty, it's going to have to break this level and then look bearish. And even then, I generally don't take them. If it's a smaller range and it's very obvious, I will do. But I tend to wait for the lower high, because you never know when it's going to decide to head for the hills. Second entry short to the MA with that one, yeah. So I wouldn't take those. I'm crap at them. Yeah, you wouldn't even got. I feel you get half a point out of that if you're lucky. Trouble is, that's what I mean. You just never know where it's going to go, or when it's going to turn, really. But I suppose that's part of trading, isn't it? Sometimes you just got to let it do its thing and wait for something you're confident with. But we have got a leg and a leg. It started from a little bit higher here, so I'd like it to break above there. So there may be a lower high here. I'm still not interested, though. It's got to go above there, really, and then work its way in before it interests me in a trade. Yeah, it's not fantastic, is it? Yeah, there is, yeah. Channel break new high. I always like two pushes, I do. Two pushes. If you can get above here and then come down bearish, that will interest me. I still usually wait for the lower high. It depends on the risk. That ATR's come down a bit. Okay, so there's a bullish bar there. We've come down, broke below there. So let's see what happens now. Channel break, two pushes to a new high. Bearish bar. I'm just going to get an order ready. If it ends up at 3 or 4 ticks, I may just have a go at it.
Order submitted.
You know, if I took a trade like that, I'd expect that to get stopped out. Possibly that as well. And it is a leg and a leg, isn't it? We have been coming down and down, so we may get like a few bounces and then down some more. Okay, no good. I was hoping we may get a 3 or 4 tick bar there, and I was just for the hell of it, I was going to have a go at that, just for the sake of 3 or 4 ticks, but nothing, unfortunately.
Order cancelled.
Equal high with the open. Can't see, well, certainly not on my chart. It's not a place where I'd have shorted, but usually if you can clear that, it may work down there. I mean, just what we're seeing really is whipping between these edges, so you've got to favour short, haven't you? So for me, it's probably going to be, now we're above this, it's probably going to be a lower high if I take a trade, but it is a break and we have got 1-2 little pushes to a new high. Good roll at the moment as well. I've had 9 3-point winning trades on the trot. Yeah, that's interesting. It usually does that, doesn't it? Let me just get an order
Order
ready just in
submitted.
case. Trouble is, it's not a huge signal bar. It's only 7 ticks. Trouble is, you don't know how far it's going to go. It concerns me as this thing now starts to move up like that. Let's see if we can get a lower high. So that to me looks like it's pushing for that stop. Sometimes that first one out does get stopped, doesn't it? And if it doesn't, a lower high would suffice, but I'll be surprised if that doesn't. And it didn't go far, to be honest with you.
Order cancelled.
If you got on a tick below it, a point and a quarter you'd have got there. It's just not enough for me, that. So I'll be surprised if it doesn't break above there. Be nice to break above there and hit this level and then turn quickly. Excuse me just a sec. Okay. 8 bars like that when it's full and full. See if we get a lower high. Let's get an order ready
submitted.
in case it comes quick. That didn't get stopped out, interestingly enough. But we could have a second entry long which pushes up. You never quite know when it's going to decide to move up. That's what concerns me. You never know, do you? So if we can trap a bull bar there, drop down, trap a bull bar, and then give us that failure on about. Yeah. See, Thomas Wade is adjusted, isn't he? He's got his there. Which I don't think looks terrible. Come on, what's going on here? Possible failure there. Trouble is, prices above that EMA, and that nerves me. Second entry long. Trouble is, if you take that failure, it could drop below and then turn to go higher. So it's just a bit unclear at the moment for me. So why does that do that? Yeah, it could go higher, couldn't it? Oh, be honest to keep up with you. Appreciate your efforts. Yeah, it's getting a bit unclear now, isn't it? You don't know whether it's going to start to work up or not. No, there's nothing there really, is there? Not for me. Let's get rid of that for a
Order
minute. I don't
cancelled.
know what's going on here. Maybe as we get some luck if we break that level. If we break that level, it may turn. But we kind of push up, 2 legs back. The trouble is an inside bar and it's a bit stacked, so it's hard to trade that really. Leg and a leg. Okay, that level's broken now. So maybe as we have a break. Okay, so channel break 1, 2 pushes to a new high. So we've got a leg and a leg. So it's hard to say. See, we've had a leg and a leg, haven't we, after the break? So it could just turn. I don't know at the moment. So there may be a spike in channel. So it has broken that a little bit. Sometimes it needs to go that little bit higher, doesn't it? Fade back in. Well, break, 2 attempts to push higher. That might be a penguin style trade, so this may come back. But it may only come back to here, this line, or it may test this and push up. It's actually hard to say, really. Yeah, most breakouts fail, but trouble is, it's kind of the case until it doesn't. You know, that would mean really we'd never get out of a range. So we'll see. But I like the way we've got a short-term trend channel with a break 1-2 push up to a new high. Now we've got a little double top. That's not, is it? Yes. Oh. Okay, leg and a leg bearish bar. In fact, it's not even really a channel at the moment, is it? It's got to respect it 3 times. It's more just 2 pushes. Break, 2 pushes. Now, it's only a 4-tick bar, that, so you may have had a go at that. That's about as low as you'll get at the moment. There's probably another one there, but doesn't really get any smaller than that, does it? So tick above, tick below, 4 or 5 ticks. Yeah, it's just so hard to tell, really. The simple answer is if you're not sure, there's nothing you can really do, and I'm not 100% sure. We've come down. There is a strong move up there. It'd been nice to see that trigger and then start to drop. The trouble is, it may well come down, but it may come down to kind of this level. And that would kind of fit with what we're seeing. So a short here, even if it triggered below there, short here just wouldn't give me enough for 3 points. At the moment, 3 points, a fair size move. I got to get down to there to push through. So if I got into a bar there, it's going to have to properly come back into that range. So strong move down, but it stopped right at the line I've put there at the EMA. So there's still a possibility it could continue higher. It took it, break it in before it really moved. Yeah, it's frustrating that, isn't it? So far, I've stuck to my rules lately. I get in for 3 points and just leave it. And it's working nice. I've had 9 3-point winners in a row. So if I'd have got out there, well, just think about those 9 3-point winners. A couple of months ago, there'd have been 9 2-point winners. So I'm actually $900 better off by going for that, which theoretically gives me 3, will pay for 3 losses. So it's definitely been win-win. Taylor's took that short there, and he's holding that. So he's in for these bottoms here. I think it's probably likely we come in. That's concerning me, see. We came back to that line, bounced twice on it, and so it may go above that. It's trying to go for 3 points now. Has it improved your profitability? Absolutely 100%. As I say, I've had 9 winners in a row now. So makes sense, doesn't it? 2 contracts. I'm up $900. So that pays, effectively, it credits me for 3 losses in a row. Not that I'd ever take that, but you know what I'm saying? Those extra more than cover your losses. So it's almost as if you don't lose a trade. I wouldn't expect to have 3 losses in 9 trades. 9, 10, 11, 12 trades. I wouldn't expect to have, 3 losses, certainly not in a row. The trouble is, though, what I found is when I started doing it, I kept getting out early. So I run the numbers and the numbers were massively in my favour. But then what you have to do, you have to leave it for the full 3 points. Otherwise, the numbers don't work. But the beauty is you can take less trades that way, and you can wait for better trades. If I take 2 winning trades in a week, if I just take 2 trades in a week, and I win them, that's $600. That's over $2,500 a month per account. That's 2, so that's 8 trades. Even if I lose the next sort of 10, it's still $1,500 a month per account. So it's win-win for me, but you have to let it, and it does take a little bit of nerve to let it run. But I found I was coming out early at 1.5, 2 points, and then we're going for the full 3 points. But the trouble is, when you do take a loss, then it hammers you even more. Scared of going for 6 ticks and 8. Yeah, it does take time to build up to those, I've got to say. But I moved up to 2 points probably 2 years ago now, and it was a no-brainer. But I would say 9 out of 10 trades go for more than 3 points than 2. So it's an absolute no-brainer for me. So there is a lower high here. My only slight concern is we are respecting that line, so a second entry long could push higher. Although we've had a break 2 pushes, I've got to make more than that to replace my income. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You're not wrong. It is hard when you've got to do it for an income. If you can do it part-time or at least work part-time to give you an income. See, I'm lucky in a way. I had some affiliates which helped me. And that gives me a small income so I can focus on my trading. So it's not easy. It's even harder for you guys in the US because, trading time is your normal working time. We don't start officially trading until 2:30 in the afternoon, so I could get home from work at 5:30 and still trade for 3 hours. So we're lucky. I'm lucky where I am in the world, but obviously in the US, if you're working typical trading hours day. See how it went, dropped, and then pushed back up. So that's my concern, that it may hold here and continue a bit higher. Who knows? See, my plan at the moment is to take $1,000. I've got 6 accounts at the moment. My plan is to take $1,000 per month out of each, and anything I make on top, just let it ride up. And when it hits a certain level, then I might decide to take $1,500 and so on. But obviously, the plan to take $2,000 out of each. But even that gives me $6,000 a month. You can certainly comfortably live on $6,000 a month. And obviously that's kind of your starting place. And then when I sort of do that, then I'll move up to 10 accounts and 15 and so on. I went up to 20. I did have 20, but I just took on too much too quick. And I couldn't stand the mental side of it, but started on 5 and slowly build up. It's a much better platform to bounce from. So at the moment, price is holding here. So, in all honesty, if you can accept losses, it's not too difficult to have 2 clear winners in a week. Even if you take 4 trades in a week, win 3 and lose 1, that's only a 75%. You're still going to earn good money. That's only a 75% win rate, which this type of trading is not especially high. So, where's Taylor's trade? Taylor's still in at the moment. Here's tell a lie. No, he's not. Oh no. His profit's down here. Trouble is, you can see there's a battle going on here, which means it really could go either way. It could drop, or it could tick below and push higher. We'd have 2 legs back. So, I've come away. It's 5 PAs now. Working on 5 more. Losers are still brutal for me. Yeah, I'm not a fan of losers, mate. I still find them. But I have that Guardian Angel trader, which cost me, I think it's about $399, and it physically stops you from trading. So I have it set to 1 loss a day. And I can't trade those accounts. Once that loss is there, it blocks me out for the day. So it kind of takes over kind of takes over from me. There is a lower high there, but we could have a leg and a leg, and it may continue higher, or there may be something larger. It does look like it's working, but I'd want a second entry long to trigger here. It looks like it may work, but it may close above that EMA, which means that could just be a correction. It's really trying to hold here. Okay, so once it gets below there, it's game over, I think. Yeah, that's coming back into the range for me, I think. Yeah, see, I haven't got it. That's just a lower high for me. Even on my other chart, I haven't got the failure. It's just a lower high, unfortunately. But once we get below here, see, 3 points is still quite a bit. I wouldn't be out there. I'd have to get down past here. So I'm going to have to leave that. In fact, while that ATR is low, I may have to come down to 2 points. I know I do 3, but risks are going to be smaller as well. Oh, Sam, how you doing, buddy? So I made the second leg up. Taking too long already triggered. Yeah, see, I haven't here. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Yeah, see, it's just a lower high on my chart. We come down, we go up, we go up. Mind you, tell a lie, once that breaks below there, push up. And no, it's still coming down, isn't it, really? So this is interesting. Let's see if this... that would be a failure on my chart. Let's see if this comes down. Okay, that second entry long has triggered. That's my point there. It's unsure because this could be a correction. I didn't expect that, and that's pushed up really strongly right to this line here. Yeah, second entry long's triggered. I was hoping it was going to trigger, then start to turn down, and once it gets below this, for me, it's likely to come down. But this could be a larger channel. If it's at the top, there's always a possibility. You know, it's going to break out of here at some point. Now's as good a time as any. We had that big leg down, 2 legs up, bunch of pushes down, and it may just be flattening. Your chart is the same as mine. That was a failed second entry long. I haven't got it as a failure, mate. So we come down. There's a because they're the same height. There's the first entry. How is that a failure? So we come down. There's a first entry. So there's really a lower high, isn't it? It's a failure. See, I don't see it as a failure. I want a second entry long. Yeah, so you're saying it's a second entry long because it's still... I actually like to count on the failures. Popped above, yeah. So when price breaks above there, it's just a first entry, isn't it? Mm-mm. This is going up, I think, isn't it? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. So that now looks like a correction, doesn't it? So, in fact, I'll tell you what we could do. We could move that up to there. That one there, yeah. Looks like a correction. The trouble is, after you bounce and struggle on the top, you don't know whether it's going to trigger you and then come down. That's the problem. Once we're back in the range, I find it hard to go long until it pushes above it. Yeah, I mean, there are certain circumstances where I would jump all over that. But because we kind of had this lower high, you don't know whether we're going to trigger that and then come down further into this range. So touch. There's your failed breakout, I would say. So this is probably still in the range at the moment. I've just moved that up a little bit. You can hear them already. So hard to trade this stuff, really. You just don't know what it's going to do. See, on about breaking a new high. See, I mean, we could have a channel like that. I don't know. What's crypto doing today? Let's have a little look. Yeah, that's quite a decent pullback, hadn't we? Okay, Bitcoin just over 97,000. Wow, we've definitely had a good pullback there. ETH down 6% today. XRP down 12% today. It's always going to happen. Avalanche, SHIB, ton. Link all down 11, 12, 13%. It was bound to happen. So depending on what you look at that, if there's a channel here, 2 legs down, push up to a new high, it's just hard to trade this at the moment. It's hard to know whether this is going to come down. I have just moved this back up there, so that could be a little fail breakout, or it could continue higher. I don't tend to trade now with it could be doing this. I'll wait till I know now. I've learnt the hard way, and that takes me down to 2-3 trades a week. I'm personally towards breakout pullback. Yeah, it's the simple answer for me now is I don't tend to count or see, oh, it's done this, it's done that. I'm just looking for a couple of legs, really. I think 2 legs, rather than as this one broken above that, blah, 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 2 legs. So that, to me, is a nice correction. Now, the reason I stayed out of a trade like that is because we've hit support up here, we've come back and hit it again and dropped. So this could come back into the meat of the range, which is why I would leave something like that. But if we had a nice channel and a correction like that, I'd jump all over that. So for me now, I don't necessarily have to think about it. I either straight away like the trade or I don't. Usually I'll get a feeling that something doesn't feel right, so I stay out of it. So I tend to not a bit at the moment, shall I, shan't I? I tend to either, I wait until I love a trade and then I just jump in and commit. I've been burned too many times. So yeah, it's hard to trade here. You know, we may get another second entry long, but we're at this crunch time where there's clearly a battle going on. And when there's a battle going on like that, it really could go up or down. So the simple answer is when we're in that area like that, the best thing to do is just to stay out of it. Anywhere in that area there, you know, I'm not saying after 2 pushes, a short there for a short bit would have been okay. Absolutely, I've got no issues with that. But any trading in here, really, it's just not worth it. You may short that one, but it didn't come down that far, and it's already going sideways, so it could break above there. We could get a second entry long here. It may go up. It could trigger here and come down. But trading in this area at the moment for me is risky. And I don't want risk in trading. Well, I said I don't want risk. I mean, there's always a amount of risk, but my experience of trading this style is if you wait for a good setup, they just do not fail. Now, you've got to put a percentage number on it, but I would be, you know, I would say trades don't just fail for no reason. There's always a reason. And now I'm not saying that's all about trades, but I'm talking about price action. Over the 3.5 years I've been trading price action, it is super accurate. When the price action's clear, you know, if we've got a clear trend up, I mean, it's touched multiple times, both, and then we have a beautiful 2-leg correction, they just don't fail. And I've got that much confidence in this style that I now just wait for a trade that I absolutely love. And it just, you know, I've waited for nice quality trades, and the last 9 in a row, I've loved the trade, I've let it go, and I've hit 3 points on every single one of them. So same again, there is a second entry long there. It's also a failure. There's probably going to be some shorts there, no doubt, but I don't want to go long here just to stop that out, to maybe come back. It's 11 ticks, it ain't finished yet. So that's a no-no for me. Now if that was sat there and we got a big stem and a little bar, I may have a go at that as long as I've got enough space. But you know, I think about, have I got enough room to get my 3 points now? So I mean, it's you can get caught out here, and I have done, and you learn after a while. You know, you either can play the numbers. I tell you, who's good at playing the numbers is Bart. But if I don't like losses, I still find them difficult. So I'd rather wait until I'm confident I know a trade's going to work. I stopped looking for trades in trend lines and ranges. Yeah, you're right, actually. I'd say it was a trade that I thought of you yesterday, Bud. That one there. Short in there. We had this great big move down, and we had a beautiful 2 legs up, 2 clear legs up to there like that, and then up to there like that. I just thought that was beautiful. And look how that, as soon as I hit that area, look how it came down. Big channel down there, 2 clear attempts. Now, I'm not suggesting shorting right there, but a short here to come down below there. It's almost like a penguin style trade, that, isn't it? Very clear, 2 attempts to push up, and as soon as that hits the EMA, you know, if you got into a short somewhere like there, I mean, it's a fair size risk. Same 1 minute tick. A fair size risk. I mean, look at the potential, you know what I mean? So you're long here, are you? What I don't like is that push up. If this is a channel, it hasn't got far. So I think that's risky as hell, personally. This to me is unclear. Around this line, there's a battle going on, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was super trappy. Absolutely, yeah. Battle between the range. I mean, it looks like it's one of those things, isn't it? It'll continue to respect this until it doesn't. And I've moved that up a little bit, and we've had a breakout which has failed, but it's not come down that far, and we look like we're moving already. So, you just don't know what's going to happen here. It is looking like it's starting to move out, but trading around here, it's hard. And it is just a little bit stacked along here as well. And the low volume's not helping. It's not helping. It's not giving us any real clear direction. It is moving up, but not comfortably. So look at book map. What's that showing us? Yeah, it's there's some big numbers down here and big numbers down here. So it's hard to know. It seems to be floating in this area between kind of 70 and 75. It's hard to know where this thing's going to go. It's not super clear. I like the fact they've got, there is another one where they've got order flow on here as well. Which one is it? It's that one there. Yeah, you've got order flow on here as well. So if you can read the footprint charts, yeah, I mean, it could come down to here, down to the early 70s. We could go up here, 76. It's, I mean, this looks like it's moving down at the moment, the NQ. So I'm not convinced we're going out of this. So I don't know. So we're holding at the moment, but it's not looking very strong. Yeah, you took that one, Brant, didn't you? It's just too close to the highs for me, really. You know what I mean? You don't know whether it's going to trigger up there and then come down. It's definitely a battle going on. Six ticks. Yeah, I mean, the difference in the charts, there's a slight difference in charts. As I mentioned, if that was further down here, I may have had a go, but I'm just not sure at the moment. I don't know. It's just a little bit. It's not moving strong, so I don't know who's going to win over here. I mean, we've broke out. We've had another push higher. This could fail and come down. So it's just not super clear. So if I'm not, I don't have to think about it now. I'm either with it and I know what's going on, or I'm thinking this is an area which could go either way, so I just stay out of it. I seem to have found my balance where I'm comfortable. I don't even count so much anymore. I'm looking for two nice moves, two attempts to do something is clearer than necessarily a second entry. So at the moment, you know, I'll dare say there's going to be people buying that. If that comes down and gets below there, it's a possibility we could come back into the range. It's hard to say. But there is a correction there, so I don't know. Look, there's a lower high there. Who knows? Who knows where this thing could go? Let's see, that's had a quick drop. Let's see if it gets below there. I think this thing may come down into the sort of meat of this. It's trying to. It's just struggling to get anywhere, really. So if I was going to get into that, I mean, even if I got it on a limit order, it's just not gone far enough. I mean, even if I got in a lot lower. So it's just unclear here. It's a bit choppy and a bit unpredictable at the moment, especially with around this. We're half above it, half below it. That gets below there. This thing may turn again. Yours was 6 ticks low, was it? Yeah. They do make a difference sometimes. The slightest change, you know, it could be the speed it gets to your computer from mine. There's all sorts of stuff, technical stuff going on in the background that I don't get. Let's see if that holds. If that holds, it may push high, because there's actually a possible second entry long here, but we're at that crunch area where we've been here for a while. If it gets below there, it may turn down. If it doesn't get below there and starts to push up from here, second entry long, it may go higher. You could even say 1, 2, 3 triple test. So if that forms bullish above that EMA, it may not be a terrible trade to go long, but I'm just unclear. I'm kind of hoping it breaks below there. 1, 2, 3, that's a triple test. So tempting, so tempting. Okay, so it's below there now, so that may come back into this, the range. I thought there might be a bullish bar there, and if it gets below there, it's game over, back down into the meter there. So getting into a trade around here, it just wouldn't have given me my 3 points, really. Even if I got in for the bottom, I still have to push. Even if I got in there, I still got to push right to the top there. So it's just, that's my issue with this. It's just so unclear. It could go up, could go down. It was looking like it was going to make it up. It was struggling. If it got a bit higher, it may do. Yeah, if we can get push up, test this line, I'll go short there.
Order submitted.
So I don't think that's a channel now. I've gone off that idea. Maybe something like that. Maybe a spike and channel. Correction, 2 pushes up to a new high, lower high. See if we can get a second entry short here. But yeah, it's just so unclear there. You never quite know where it's going to go. Someone has just done that, which has changed things. So, I'm just dropping that a second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll just be a second. Okay, channel with a break. Now, I have to pay attention to this. Whether it is or not, I don't know. Touch. No, I'm not so sure, actually. Let's have a look. Taylor's in a short. He's got a lower high here. To be honest with you, the issue I have with that, I think this is going to sting him. The issue I have with that trade, he's actually gone short there. And it stops here. The trouble is with that move there, we're already at the bottom of the channel, so it could come back above there. So he's got that on there, so I worry about this trade. You're the same as Taylor. So you got to stop around about here, haven't you? Something like that. I haven't. It's just 3 bars. So his stop is somewhere around about there, I'd say. It may come back and retest this, which means it could push slightly higher. Yeah, I haven't got one on my other. Well, I have got a fairly, but it's no good. So mine's right down here. So we've kind of had 2 pushes, but I don't like this. It's a bit wicky either side. See, if I'm thinking about going shorter in here, I'd like it to retest this. But for your sake, blue collar, I hope it comes straight down. So Taylor is due out here. So he's nearly out this trade now. You're already out. Good on you, mate. Taylor's is right there, which looks like it's probably going to work. Yeah, I didn't have nothing here really. We just had a straight chart. I had the lower high, but at the moment I'm just staying out of this until he pushes. But I was hopefully we get a lower high here, but it's kind of already gone down, isn't it? So he'll be out of that in a second, I think. Yeah, I have. Yeah, let's do it again. See if it's any different. The thing is with Taylor, he's got about 3 charts on the go. Let's see if this is any different. Yeah, he's got about 3 charts. Oh yeah, I did reload it, but I wouldn't have taken that purely and simply because the bar has already pushed right the way down to the bottom of the channel. So I wouldn't have taken that personally. I would have only taken a breakout with one. So if I'd have taken that, I'm probably going to. Normally I take 3 points, and it's got to get down to there. So with the ATR low, I'll probably go for 2 points. And the trouble is, it's holding on support there. So that to me is just gone a bit too. I've taken trades before and got stopped out there. If you look at the channel, you know, if he stops up here, it's actually moved right the way down to the bottom of the channel where you expect it to either go sideways or come back. So yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. You can get it on a limit order; it makes all the difference. But yeah, I wouldn't have taken it there. But yeah, I suppose if it pushes up, the trouble is if it pushes up, you don't know whether we're going to come a bit higher, but and take out that. So it's hard to say really, and it's hard at the moment around here. It's super risky, and obviously with me going for a little bit more points, it's probably going to come down. Leg and a leg. How far though? Yeah, so you know, some of this sort of stuff I'd have a go on a limit order. Sorry, on an evaluation, because you don't mind taking a risk when you got a cheap evaluation. but it's quite choppy and it's hard to read at times. So as you know, I go for 3 points, so I got a little bit finicky in my decision making. If I go for a point, it doesn't really matter. You can more or less get it anywhere. You could take the long there, you could take the short there, you could take the short there, and get a point. There's you know, I don't know about any of you guitar players out there, but when you go from acoustic guitar to electric guitar, it's like it's an absolute doddle, isn't it? So maybe if I went from scalping 3 points to scalping a point, I'd find it really easy. I've got another limit order, 4/6, yeah. Yeah, limit orders make all the difference. But at the time, well, I did reload my charts earlier when I first got to them, but we didn't have that failure then. But what I tend to like doing, if I can, is have a nice bullish bar there. So it's nicer if you can do that, trigger it, and then maybe take that on an engulfing. It just gives you that extra momentum. So let's make this a little larger. This is delaying up my uptrend. You got something from the bottom here, have you? You got something like that, Brant, have you? Oh, yeah. Something like that, have you? Yeah. You never know. I mean, after that kind of big kind of push down a bit sideways, you never quite know. It's certainly good to be aware of these areas. So, touch, touch, touch kind of works nice. See, Thomas Wade's just put that up and he's got a small overshoot there. So, let's have a look at this. Yeah, I haven't really. Oh, mind you. I suppose I have really. I'm not. It's not obvious, I don't think. You could adjust that ever so slightly. So yeah, possible uptrend, although it's not the steepest of uptrends. Trouble is, when they're more sideways than up, I think they're just more untrustworthy. Has anybody else got one on here? I think somebody might have done. Wait. Well, that's some information on there, Mr. Price. That's someone who details what they're looking at. I like that. So yeah, he's got it as a small overshoot. No one else has got it that I can see. Slightly larger. Where was that? Oh, no, that's more this, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it's definitely good to be aware of it. Oh, what happened there? Okay, channel down, first break. Let's have a look. Max mid-morning update says it could go up and break out or continue into a range. Yeah, that's... So he knows sod all, just about the same as us. So we've had a push up. If we can get another push up, so 2 legs, I may have a go at that. We got a touch, a touch, a touch. Kind of looks okay. Let's just put that there just for the hell of it. Just see what happens. Sometimes it does that. I mean, it's only really touched there. Sometimes it's not that difficult to join 3 parts, is it? In fact, because of this, I'd probably be inclined to more stick it like that. It's, for me, it's more sideways, I think. Let's actually use a proper channel. Yeah, it could be. It's a bit early for me. It's more sideways than that. Trouble is, sometimes if you put that there, you're inclined then to be thinking about longs. Does it make a difference if I stretch it out a bit? Sometimes it does. Not sure about that. Trouble is, this thing is changing from minute to minute. 1 minute it looked like it was going up, and then we had a strong move down. So channel break. Yeah, see, Thomas Wade's got rid of his overshoot now. I'm not massively convinced Taylor's got the same thing, so I think everyone's looking for a short at the moment. Unfortunately, nothing. Straight up, straight down. Let's see what it does again on this line. I was hoping we get 2 legs up. Someone went short here. Not sure how you can, really. Not the most clear of days, is it? No days open, yeah. So that gets us down here, that second leg. If it does come down, I think we're all right with that at the moment. It's more just ranging, I think. See how far it gets down. I mean, we are making slightly higher lows, aren't we? But not convincing enough to make me think long just at the moment. Maybe something longer. Straight up to there, nothing. Just down. So if we get those 2 legs down, that'll take us down right to the bottom, which is kind of where we want to bounce. So channel break 1. If you can get 2 pushes to a new low, then maybe we'll look for long. Now there's a small breakout there, so we may get one this side. So we got overnight highs. Is that the, yeah, overnight highs here. Depends how you look at this. Overnight highs. I mean, it's not really giving us much, is it? We haven't got much of a high and low, but there is one. I mean, look at that. So second entry short off here may be interesting. We didn't get the second leg down. We seem to be floating here, so that's interesting. It's actually a failure, isn't it? Trouble is, it's 10 flipping ticks. No, what happens? No, I've asked a couple of times. He's kind of disappeared. Someone said they thought he was traded under a different name. There's a guy I know on Thomas Wade's Facebook group that joined his channel, and I'm sure he said he called himself something else. I don't know. So I'm going to sit and wait here. You could say there's 2 legs up. Let's see if we get a lower high from here. I liked him. I did. I liked. It's kind of been my goal all along to slowly increase my profit taking. And I kind of like this, with this kind of thing here. He had this channel up, we had a nice correction. He'd be jumping in here and somewhere and getting out for the highs. Obviously, depending how far it goes. But I kind of liked he went for those 2 legs back, 2 clear legs back, and then a big move up to the tops, and then hopefully beyond. But I liked him, and he just kind of disappeared. Mind you, Israel have got their fair share of problems at the moment, so you don't know how that's impacted him. Whether he's of military age or something, I don't know. He lives in Israel, doesn't he? Yeah, he lives just outside Tel Aviv. So I don't know how old he is. Yeah, there was kind of a picture of him, but I don't know whether he was kind of military age or what. But or whether he's just given up that side of it and still trades. So you can call that a hidden second entry short. We had that kind of one push up. and it's off that key entry point, isn't it? But I'd rather wait for a lower high here. It's a bit unpredictable at times. I've got that as a wider channel, but we have got a channel with a break and a new low, so I'd rather wait for an actual second entry, a clearer second entry short here. He's just posted that, so he's looking at it as the larger channel, but I always like to just be a bit cautious. I'd rather wait for a lower high or an actual second entry short. Someone said he died at war. I don't know whether that's true. Let's hope not. I've not heard that. I hope not. I liked him. I liked what he had to say. He was a bit of a character. In fact, he came out, I'm sure he came on the stream once, didn't he? Okay, so I'm just going to get an order ready here.
Order
just
submitted.
In case, because there's a higher low there. Let's see if this triggers. I want that to trigger. He didn't like you. But not many people do. There's a lower high on my other chart. Second entry short stroke lower high, but there's not much space to the lows there. And it ain't finished yet. I mean, this 1.25, 1.5 at a squeeze. Just not a fan of this at the moment. I'd much prefer that up there, giving us a bit more space. Hello, Karina. How are you? In Israel, the government call for citizens to fight for the country. Anyone that have military training months after, yeah, women too, absolutely. Yeah. We have a family friend who spent a lot of time in Israel. He was in the military, or British military, and he spent a lot of time in Israel and showed us lots of photos. But yeah, they've got a big... in fact, I was watching something on the TV last night, and you see loads of people walking around armed in civilian clothing. Apparently, they're encouraged to... Off-duty civilians are encouraged to keep their firearms with them. I think for obvious reasons, but yeah, there was loads of people, like, you know, young girls in their 20s, you know, skirts, blouses, a rifle hanging off the shoulder. So apparently they're encouraged to. Range play one time, I won, he lost it. People get personal, don't they, about trading? Yeah. Who was it who I was talking to? I'll see, where's the name? There was a name I recognised. I heard him mention a few times, and I noticed the name was on Thomas Wade's group. Tiki Taki, I think it was. Tiki Taki? Or I just made that up? No, I'm pretty sure it's Tiki Taki. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's him. Tiki Taki there. Where was it? There. He's not on today, but he was a member. I remember recognising the name, and I said, were you on his Discord? And he said, yeah, he said he was trading under a different name. I can't remember what it was. So same again, more of the same, bit unsure. That was the trade I was looking at, but it's a bit stacked up a touch, and it's carrying on there. So It never triggered anyway, but I would much prefer that to have pushed a bit higher. I don't like those. And for obvious reasons, we've now got 5 bars in a row side by side, so we could have a leg and it may go a bit higher. So not an easy day. How long have we been going for? 2 hour and 50 minutes. I may go and have a cup of tea in a minute. So we got a leg up there. Yeah, that was when I was... Well, I'm not a fan of those where we get almost a full bar. I much prefer it to trigger because it's a higher low then. Yeah, so that other chart, see what I mean? If you get into something like that and that happens, you never know when you're going to get that second push up. It's just risky, that is, getting in a trade there. Doesn't look as bad as that, but it's still a bit sideways, so I was right to stay out of that. Never triggered anyway, so, but I wouldn't be shocked if that broke above there. We may get 2 legs and then it may come down, but I don't know. It's going to break above it. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. And that would be a failure then, wouldn't it? Be nice to trigger a bull bar here. Channel down, 2 pushes up. See what happens. I'll keep an eye on that. I'm hoping it closes full. After mental fatigue. I don't get it so much like I used to. I remember talking with Marco about that. He does 3 hours maximum. He said he's mentally drained at that. I'm not so bad now. I do tend to do around about 2.5 to 3 hours. Between 2 and 3, I think. It depends. If I can get my trade in early, I'm done. But if I get a winning trade, usually I don't take another one. It's rare I'll take another one because I go for 3 points, so I'm up nice anyway. So I'm looking one leg up. I'm looking for a second leg. I'd like to break the top of that, whether we're going to or not, but it's stacking up again now. It is still holding on this line, and we've still come off the bottom, as close as to the bottom. So leg and a leg. But I wanted to push up. It looks a bit better on this, although it's stacked up. I wanted to break above there, and that would be 2 legs up for me. I wouldn't want to take that long. If I did, I'd expect it to stop me out. So if it does trigger above there, I'm thinking maybe down some more, but we'll see. You have a break on your second chart, dear. So at the moment, let's have a look at this. So we've got a touch, a touch, a touch, a touch. It's fitting nice, that. I can't say that we've got anything at the moment, but kind of stacked. Yeah, I think that's more important than whether we've had a break or not. It is kind of stacked. Obviously there's some uncertainty there. 4th or 5th touch, slightly break high. Yeah, if we can get and what I'd like to see is another push up here and then give us something bearish. Let's have a look on here. He's got it fitting at the moment, but yeah, when it stacked up, that's as far as we got at the moment. He's got that as it is. ATR's back up to 2 now. That's a little bit better. Friday's closed. No, we haven't done as yet, have we? We could do. Okay, so I want it to stop out that bar there. The second entry short, I want it to stop that out, and it has done. So that higher low is triggered. So I'd like that to break above there and then start to work down. So if we didn't have a break now, we have done there. So if we have a leg and a leg, let's have a look. So leg, if we can get something else up here. Yeah, see, Thomas Wade's got that as a channel. He hasn't got a wider one, so I've left that there because I'm kind of on the fence at the moment. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I've been going for 2 hours now, so I'll be around about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so leg. Nothing I'd have done there really anyway. So we've had a break and a new low there only, so I don't think it really matters whether we have that or not. I thought the trend one. That's a song in it. Sure, there's a song in there somewhere. Or is it the law? I think it's the law, isn't it? Yeah, I think once it came below there and continued down, I think my natural thought process was this is where we would aim to. But as we've had a little breakout at the top here, I'd like to have one at the bottom. Let's have a look. So So 10,000 tick charts, just as clear, or just lack of clarity. Lag and a lag. It's just not telling us much at the moment, really, is it? We know it's kind of going sideways, but obviously we opened here, push straight down at the bottom, had a nice big bullish bar. So if that's a range. Yeah, it's not really giving us much. You want to short no signal bar. Nothing really at the moment, is there? A couple of legs up. Trouble is, when we start to move back to the EMA to look for a second entry short, it started stacking up. Well, that obviously makes a chance of finding something. Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, to go short again, I'd want it clear. Now, there could be something larger there. There probably will be. But the trouble is, when I was looking for two legs back here and it's just stacking up, got feeling it was going to push down. But the trouble is, if you get in too premature, it could push up, stop you out, and have two pushes, and then we come. It's just not clear at the moment. It's just it's not the easiest days. It's a half-hearted attempt to push up, which failed quite strongly. What's it be a second entry short? Yeah. Trouble is, it's still congested here, isn't it? Look at that. Doesn't even get anywhere close to it, does it? Just turns up and then drops. No setup, certainly not on my chart. And then, well, there's a little bit of volatility now. Pushed down quite quick. And then, so that told me there's quite likely buyers down there, but it is, we've got no news today. It is moving around a little bit. You know, our buyers trying to protect this area, who knows? So, Christmas Eve, fortnight today. Can't believe how quick Christmas has come round. Okay, that's that measured move, I think. Let's get it accurate. Two ticks away, I think. Yeah, it depends how you look at it. I did have another channel at some point, which kind of went from there to there, which didn't look terrible. And then I had a small break there, 2 pushes down to a new low. So whether you got that, I got rid of that then in the end. But whether we got that and 2 pushes to a new low, I don't know. I mean, it's just a range anyway for me. So trouble is, after we broke out the top, often we end up having something very similar this end. So would I prefer to go long or short if I had the choice? I think I'd rather, this could be quite bearish, so I think I'd rather short the top than long the bottom. So based on the daily, I think it's more likely to have down. So I don't really want to long off the bottom. Let me have a look at the daily again now. Yeah, Thomas Wade's changed his mind. He's got that as a trend now, as a spike in the channel. So it is continuing down, I will say. So he's got it from around about there somewhere. So trouble is, even if it is, there's nothing you can short here really. You'd have to wait to get there, and I don't know how I'd feel about shorting there anyway. Especially after we're bouncing. I mean, at the moment, it's just a range day, nothing else. So, perfect measured move. Okay, that'll go. Which it did. How far is it going to come down now? As I say, I think we're going to push out the bottom like we did there. We often get like a mirror image after a break one side. Trouble is, at the moment, this looks like working down. But we had the same there, didn't we? A spike in a channel, and in the end it turned. So I think this, I'm just kind of treating this more like a range, I think. But I wouldn't want to think about going long until we had a breakout that sort of size here. I won't just want to go long at the bottom here. Took a long chicken close. Yeah, before I took a long, he had one to break below here, just purely because of this. I mean, it could just turn straight up, couldn't it? But it does look like it's working in this area. It's working kind of nice off the midline. So I'd want to see it push below there just to match the breakout at the top. Whether it will or not is a different story, but oh yeah, absolutely. I don't deny it. Yeah. Let's see where this goes. Channel down. Okay, excuse me just a sec. Okay, let's see where this goes from here. Let's see, let's just put that back to there and bring that down to there. Let's put it where I originally had it, which is there, which means we've had a break 2 pushes to a new low. It's tough on that, is you could fit that a bunch of different ways. See, there's definitely some buying off the bottom. It would be nice to break below there. Now, you know, my experience, when we bounce off here, when we have a break out the top that fails, quite often we get one the other end, kind of like a mirror image. Chicken closing again, looking on that, yeah. It's a constant progression, isn't it, trading? I mean, you could include that, which means there's a break. But I'm cautious here because, yes, there may be a channel with a break, and yes, after a channel breaks, often we make a new extreme, but the range is more important, and we have bounced multiple times off that, so it could go up. So I don't actually want to go short there automatically. It's only really a first entry anyway, so it may come straight down, it may go straight up. So I get a feel for it now. I either like it or I don't, and this just isn't telling me to jump in. Could come down below here, but as I say, my experience is these ranges, when we have a breakout one end, we often have one the opposite end. So if that is a channel, that is a break. Thomas Wade's got it as a break. He's still got it as a spike and channel. I think it's irrelevant for me either. He's got this a break. But we have bounced a couple of times off support. So I'm not in a hurry to trade here. I prefer 2 legs up or I don't know. It's just got to look right for me. I don't care what the count is. It's just got to look like it's made 2 clear attempts to push up. Okay, it's definitely some buying around here. There's no argument there. So, looking on this other chart, depends how you see this channel break. There's a lower high there, lower high stroke second entry long. There's a lot of buying off here, which tells me there's a lot of buyers hanging around there. So do I really want to short into it? We've got a channel down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. You just got to be so careful around here because you'd be shorting into support. There's not 2 points there at the moment, and we've not finished yet. So a tick below there, I mean, it's 1.25. If you can get below there, you may pick up 2 points, but I prefer a triple test here before I wanted to go short there. So nothing you can do here, really. I'm not 100% sure that that is how I think it is. Maybe it's like this. In fact, that actually doesn't look that bad, actually, to be fair. Maybe that's it. Who knows? It's possible there, but I don't like it. Yeah, there's a lot of battling going on at the tops and bottoms. You can see it there. You can see it's very similar. A lot of chopping around. I mean, you've just got to, if you get into a trade, hope you kind of ended up on the right direction, but that's not how I want to trade. Excuse me. Yeah, someone else has just put that there now. So he's thinking of the same. So it's just something to be aware of. He's got it as a break. He's just put it there as the same as me on my second chart. Because it's possible. You know, touch, 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 touch. So it could come down. There's going to be some... Well, we know there's buyers there. When it pushed down, it pushed up strong. Possible second entry long off the top. It's hard to say. It's just unclear, this for me. So if it's unclear, I'm just not interested. Can argue with double bottom. Yeah, it's possible. You could say a triple bottom. It's a tough one, isn't it? See, if you get rid of that, you could even say there's a failure there or a higher low. There's going to be a short strap there. You can bet your bottom dollar. 1, 2, failure. Trouble is, price at the moment is still looping down, so you've got to assume that it may continue to do that. I mean, it's obviously hitting support. We know that, but at some point it could break out, especially as we've had that break at the top. We quite often have one immediately after the next push down, which gives us one on the bottom, and then we know there's going to be a lot of buyers down there and here as well, so that area is protected. So if it can get below there, it may come hurtling down pretty quickly. Now, hurtling might be a rather strong word, but it's hard to say. But when it broke below there, that pushed up super strong. So this is just, it's risky around here. I want to keep my risk to a minimum. it's at that area, which could go either way. We had it here. Looked like it was going to go up for a minute and then came down. So I have to treat this as a range. They're strong by enough but that's it. Nothing's happened up there. It hasn't continued on. It started to pull back. So I'll just have to sit tight. My gut feeling is I'm prepared for one of those at the bottom, which means long is out of the question for me at the moment. If you like that, we've had a break. You may be expecting a new low. Either way, my thought process is I need to give this time to push below there. And I certainly don't want to short here because obviously we're bouncing off support here as well and it could go up. So it's that crunch area. We had a bit of it around here and 1 minute it looked like it may take off and then it turned. So I'm pretty clear on my trades now. If I've got doubts, I just leave it alone and it works well. I think you kind of got to find your own rhythm, find your own balance. I don't take risky trades now. I don't say this could. If I don't take a trade where I say this could work. I've got to be pretty confident. You're waiting. Is that wanting? Wanting on a good bull bar here, but feeling anxious and tilty. Yeah, if you're feeling like that, really, you just got to give it some space, haven't you? So my patience, I think, is probably my strongest point at the moment, but I always struggle. It's strange how different areas of your training develops in different days. I remember sitting here thinking, this is going down, I'm going to miss out on this, and just buy it and just sell it, and literally within a couple of seconds, it almost turned on the spot, took me straight out. So for me, the type of trade I want is where someone jumps out in front of you and waves. That type of trade, that it's that blatantly obvious, I can't click the button quick enough. And when I follow those rules, I don't lose many trades. It does mean you could be sat here for a couple of days without a trade, unfortunately. But, I've seen other streamers taking, 4, 5, 6 trades in a day and losing 2 or 3 of them. And I think really, I tell you, I know he's been struggling a little bit, Sam. But he developed pretty well over this year. Sam did. He went from taking 5, 6, 7, 8 trades to taking 1, maybe 2. And it just goes to show, once you reduce those amount of trades and wait for better setups, it pays off. It really does. He just had a little bit of a balance. We all get it now and again. I had a message with him last night, actually. We all get that little bit of wobble on our feet once in a while. It does get less and less. So Sam has had an actual blinding year in comparison. He really has. And he's a trader I think will do really well. But he's had a little wobble, and I think he's done the best thing in just taking a couple of weeks off over Christmas and come back fresh. It really does make a difference. And I get the odd wobble myself from time to time. But those wobbles get less and less, and you do get more. Like, I feel like I'm in control now. My emotions ain't dictating whether I get into a trade or not. I am. And it's nice when you get to that point, because so many times I've sat here being absolutely clueless when it comes to control. I have no say whatsoever. My right hand and my right side excited brain just goes off on one and makes its own mind up. I've had so many days like that, and I've just had no control, and then all of a sudden it's like you wake up from a bad nightmare and think, what the hell have I done? A load of other blown big wobblers. But it's kind of how we work with everything, really. We get better and better at it. No matter what you do in life, it's kind of impossible not to, really. But it's the trouble is with trading, unlike any other job I've done, there's so many failures. It's very hard to believe you're actually going to be able to do it. And I think sometimes that's why I've taken stupid risks, because I feel like I need a bit of luck and a head start. Otherwise, I'm not good enough to get there by myself, to hit those targets where I can withdraw. But now, I believe 100% I can get there. It just takes a bit of time and a bit of patience. But once you start, adapting that time and patience, things do start to improve. So Sam will come back stronger. He's just a bit frustrated. It does happen. I know exactly how it feels. I've had days where he's messaged me and said, "Oh, don't let one bad trade dictate you." But that's why I like these streams and that and Facebook groups, is you can help each other and support each other. But sometimes, I know tough love works well, but it can be a bit debilitating sometimes trading when you're learning, because it's not so much of you're just learning to do something. It's costing you a lot of money and you're losing a lot of money. And we all know money makes the world go round. And when you ain't got a lot of it and it seems to be coming out your bank quicker than it's going in, it plays on your mind. And sometimes once that's there in your mind, it's quite hard to get rid of it, and it kind of dictates every decision you make. So we got this crunch time 1, 2. I'm not classing this as a push-up. I'm classing that as one, that as one. That was just a retest on the way down. So 1, 2, 3. This will be the triple test for me. So let's see how this finishes. Channel down. One attempt to go higher. Pull back. Second attempt to go higher. Let's see whether I think this is coming down or going up. Someone's took a long trade there. Well, failure actually. Not for me, unfortunately. It's a bit stacked up there. It could just push at the top and walk down. But that's the bit that makes me curious. I expected a break out the bottom. 6 trades, barely green, lightly stop. See, that's my point. See, 6 trades, you'd expect to be green, wouldn't you? So I feel sometimes the less trades, the less works better with me. I think it's probably the same in most parts of life, isn't it? Less is more sometimes. But I really struggle with patience. It's one of my best my best practices now is I can happily sit here for 2 days and it doesn't bother me in the slightest that I don't take a trade. I actually give myself a pat on the back because I've done my job. And it's hard sometimes when you see some of these forums and every 5 minutes someone's saying I took that, and it kind of almost puts pressure on you to take a trade. And I was chatting with a guy, and another guy who trades on here. He's from the UK. He said you'd only take two trades all week, and it was a Friday. So I'm like, that's exactly what I have. So sometimes when you see people taking loads of trade, it doesn't necessarily mean they're making more money than you. It just means they're taking more trades. And if they're taking more trades, chances are they're losing more. So peer pressure's quite strong sometimes. But I tend to, ultimately, you're your own person, so you've got to make your own play. You have, absolutely. Before entering a trade, I think like you already 2 or 3 up. Would you still risk it? That's a good point. That is, when I've taken a winning trade, it's very rare I take another one. It's got to look that good. But it's a good point, actually, because I know a lot of people say sometimes winning can be detrimental as well. Now, I don't find that's affected me so much, because when I win a trade, I get twice as strict. So it doesn't work that way with me, which I'm quite glad. You'll rarely see me take another trade. I'm quite happy to walk away on one trade, especially that's part of the beauty about going for 3 points. It is easier said than done, yeah. There's nothing worse for me personally than giving profits back. Okay, so I might take a short here just on my
Order submitted.
Which one's come up? Just on my funded futures here. Let's see if it breaks below there. It hasn't picked me up.
Order filled.
It has.
Order filled.
I'm expecting a break here. I'll show you this now. Now, I don't mind if this doesn't work. It's only an evaluation. For my funded futures, we've got a leg up and a bearish bar here, and it's kind of a second entry short. So I'm going to put that around about there. If it breaks below there, I expect a good push down, but leg and a leg. I think this is going to come down. Now, I'm not taking it on my my PA accounts because it is risky, but this for me is 2 attempts to push higher and a bearish bar, so I like this. I don't think this market's ready to go up yet. I'd like to see a break below there because of this, which is why I've kind of give it time. But in fact, do you know what? I'm going to put that a couple of ticks down and I'm going to follow it, because when it breaks below this, I think it may go. So this is about a 1-to-1 trade. That's a strong move down below the EMA. So my gut feeling is this area is going to get broken. If it does, there's that much support there, I think it'll push straight through my target. But it is just one account here, just the my funded futures. But I like it. Channel down, leg and leg. 2 attempts to push up. Strong move below that EMA. This is coming down all day long for me. Shame I can only trade 3 contracts on here. But I always expect that at the bottom when we've had a failed breakout. Let's see what happens. If it gets down below there, it'll hit a bunch of stops, hopefully. Come on. Let's put it there to be safe. It may come back a bit. So
Target
I'm just going to
filled.
take it here. Oh, it's broken below anyway. I'm going to say it may, after that big push down, it may come back a bit before. I thought that was a really nice trade. I wouldn't, it is riskier. I wouldn't have taken it on my PAs, but I'll take it on evaluation. We're moving down, leg and a leg, big bearish bar. There's traders trapped all the way along there, I'd say. Second entry long, that's going to come down and flush all that out. I still don't think it's hit the stops. I think stops will be a bit lower. But that was worth it for an evaluation trade. Made me a few $100 anyway, so. But I didn't want to trade. Sorry. How many PAs? I have 6. So I didn't want to trade it on me PAs. But I like that. Leg and a leg. Big bearish bar. That's coming down below this lot. I still don't think it's hit the stops yet. But there'll be some along there. You can bet your bottom dollar. But whenever we have a breakout of a range, I always expect one the opposite end. Took the short too late. No, there's nothing at the moment. I'm surprised, but I do believe that Daryl Martin's in Dubai at the moment. So, mind you, who's his right-hand man, the other guy? He's your favourite, Karina, isn't he? What's his name? I didn't realise he was a full partner. But yeah, I am surprised. They rarely go for a few days without giving an offer. I keep half expecting to see something, but we haven't. Especially leading up to Christmas, it's quieter anyway. So you think they tend to, because there's no way on God's earth with Harmony. There's no way on God's earth that people are going to pay 8% off. I'm not saying they won't. I'm certainly not paying. 50% off. I'm certainly not paying £80 for an evaluation. Not a chance. I wouldn't expect you guys to do either. So I'm waiting for the 80% off. For me, the $85 lifetime fee was most attractive. So that's what I want. And I keep checking a few times a day just to see if we've had something, but nothing as yet, surprisingly enough. Especially now we started a new week. When did that one finish? Last week? Wednesday, Thursday last week? So, this is that breakout I'm expecting. I thought this was going to hit a bunch of stops unless they are a bit lower. Mind you, if you have those two legs down at the start of the day, I dare say there's buyers buying that. Fridays though, yeah. There is, I'm not sure what caused that. It wasn't any news. We just side, quick drop out, and then it went up strong. Be interesting to see how far this gets down, whether it does pick off. Because I think market opens two legs down. It's as good as anywhere to buy if you're in for the day, maybe. Oh, what's happened there? Something's missing. Rhythmics just stopped working. Oh, okay, here we go. Free indicator, Fridays overnight. Was trying to, yeah, usually I sort of have a couple of lines here, but I just flick back now and again. I wonder if we're having like a leg back, a few legs up and another leg down. I wouldn't be surprised if we come down some more. Okay, I think I'm done for today, folks. It's been going 2 hours and 50 minutes. Not the easiest day to trade, is it, today, in all honesty? Let's have a look. Marco's just posted his chart. Let's have a look at it. A few seconds ago. Okay, that's Marco's chart for the day. Yeah, he's not marked much. That one, second entry long. That was that one I talked about there. Nice correction. If we wouldn't have had this, if this was just a trade, I'd have jumped all over that. That's the type of thing I like. It is a second entry long, but it's a really lovely correction. But when we've just come off the top here and we get that lower high, I'm just cautious that this is going to come down. But ordinarily, that type of setup I like. But he's marked it, but nothing else. He's literally just finished. But it's not an easy day today. He's basically looking at the same thing we have. Small breakout there. One appearing now. He's got this channel with a break. Trouble is, he's got a break and one attempt to go lower. But because of this overshoot, I'd always be waiting for one the opposite end, which we've had there. and then a strong move back in. But we're back at the EMA now, so who knows? So I'm done for the day, folks. So it's been a bit of a quiet week. I haven't had a trade yet. I've had a couple on an evaluation, but that's fine. 1-2 trades. If I can do 2 trades in a week, happy days. But it's not the easiest day. But the more important thing is can you sit out when it's doing this? And I've had a good day. I mean, we may have a leg, and it may come down some more. Still, it's hard to say. So that's me for today. So if you're carrying on trading, best of luck. Failing that, have a great evening. Stay safe. We'll catch up again, which is Wednesday tomorrow. Bye for now.